Good evening, fellow ruminators. Welcome back to another session, Rumination with Andrew. Thank you so much for joining as we are about to discuss a very important topical matter. And this evening, we are going to talk about the whole drama that continues to um, be unfolded on the grand plantation called Jamaica, right? Because we are a plantation and we love entertainment and the intrigue continues, right? The drama continues to unfold right before our eyes. And in the news today, we're learning that the leaders of the opposition, well, the incumbent government of Jamaica, the Andrew-led Holiness government, is calling on Mark Golding to renounce his citizenship or step down, right? So he is called upon to renounce his British citizenship or step down from office, right? From the office that he currently holds. Now, that to me is something very interesting. Today I was listening briefly to a podcast, right, by Oral Tracy Maverick, and he was suggesting that, Mark Golding should also renounce his British citizenship. But he's saying that he understands that as the Constitution outlines, according to him, it allows any member of the Commonwealth, right, to be a member of Parliament, right? So you can be a dual citizen if you have a passport from a country that is a part of the Commonwealth. But according to Oral Maverick, he's suggesting that by principle, it is wrong, that it should not be, even though the Constitution allows it. Even though the Constitution allows it, he thinks that it should not be by principle. Now, what sort of reasoning is that, Oral? If you think that, well, if the Constitution says that, and the Constitution permits, a member of Parliament, right, or a leader to be a de facto member of Parliament, given that he is a member of any country of the Commonwealth, then why should Golding renounce his British citizenship? It doesn't make any sense. Now, what we can say, if we want to become a true republic, then we can decide now that we want to change that law, right? And make it into a law which perhaps suggests that we cannot be loyal to any country, that you cannot sit in the Jamaican parliament with dual citizenship. That is something that we perhaps can change as we're talking about the constitutional reform, then we can do that right now. But to suggest that at the current moment, if the Jamaican Constitution allows him, right, if the Jamaican Constitution allows him to sit in Parliament as having two passports, because he has two passports, and these passports belong to two countries that are members, right, of the Commonwealth, then there's no problem. There should be no problem with Mark Golding's British citizenship, right? On the Andre Stevens show, I heard a piece of gossip because Andre Stevens loves his gossips, right? So I heard this, on his show. There are comments about who might have leaked Mark Golding's itinerary when he was traveling to the United States the other day. Somebody might have leaked his itinerary where they found about his passport and the fact that he is a dual citizen now of Jamaica and the UK, of Great Britain. Now, what is interesting is that who do they think they're fooling? The fact of the matter is that I'm sure Jamaicans know that they would have known. Mark Golding's parliamentary colleagues would have known that he has dual citizenship. Among the elites in Jamaica, the political elites, the economic elites, they would have known that Mark Golding has dual citizenship. Mark Golding is a de facto member of the Jamaican elite class, right? They know who he is and who he's not, right? They know, right? So this is nothing secret, and they're now just finding out. They're just playing a political game. This is political gimmickry, right? It's not anything that is to inform us or to anything substantive to rectify and to allow us to become a better society. Something that we need to understand, and Jamaicans need to stop playing this game with their politicians and the economic elites, because they're just distracting you and having you attend a circus and participate in this grand circus that is not going to allow us to solve any of our intractable problems on the island, something that you have to come to grips with. My question to you, though, having said that, I am wondering, having seen Damion Crawford on The Fix, that's another Jamaican podcast. I think he was there on Sunday, or it was uploaded on Sunday. The video was uploaded on Sunday. And Damion Crawford, you know, among many things, was talking about Andrew Holness's leadership, among other things. And, you know, I was trying to look if he had said anything about Mark Golding, because I am wondering at this juncture, at this point, I am wondering if it is a plot, if the whole saga that, if the whole debacle that concerns Mark Golding, if this is a plot to replace Mark Golding as the leader of, and to, you know, to replace Mark Golding by putting Damion Crawford in office as the leader of the PNP and the president of the PNP, the People's National Party. I'm wondering if they really want at this juncture, at this point, Damion Crawford to replace Mark Golding, right? That is what I'm thinking, that might be the reason for them to be holding this conversation about Mark Golding's dual citizenship. I think that might be the ploy. I think it's a game, right? So you've got to really ask yourself that question. And let's look at an article in, I think this was published in 2020 in the Jamaica Gleaner, right? So here we see this, this is another article I put up on the screen. But here we have leaked recording, Crawford slams new PNP president, says Hannah is popularity junkie. So let me show you this, because let's read a little bit of it, because we have to remind ourselves even of history, right? Because Damion Crawford has a lot of interest in becoming the next PM of Jamaica, right? He has not yet lost sight of that dream, right? He has that dream, and I think he wants to fulfill that dream. All right, so here we have, claiming to be more popular than Lisa Hanna, People's National Party firebrand Damion Crawford has ripped into President Mark Golding and suggested that he will launch a presidential bid in the next 5 years, right? So that is what Damion Crawford is saying, and this was in 2020. Right, let's go back to the date that this article was written in 2020. Right, am I there? Yeah, no, this was actually written in 2020. It was published on 2024. All right, so it's not, yeah, yes, 2020, November 30th, 2020, right? So the date of publishing, the published date of this article was on November 30th, 2020. So this is what he was saying. He said the outburst is bound to open a new frontier of division in the 82-year-old party, which has been roiled by internecine conflict with the two leadership challenges in 14 months. The pro-Golding faction will be stirred to crush the Crawford rebellion before further disunity mushrooms, right? So this is what is happening, right? This is what is happening. In a leaked voice note, a copy of which has been obtained by the Gleaner, Crawford also hinted that Golding's is only good for the next 2 years. So let's read it again. In a leaked voice note, a copy of which has been obtained by the Gleaner, Crawford also hinted that Golding is only good for the next 2 years, and it was 2020, right? So he's saying Mark is the most ready for the next 2 years, right? General election is not the next 2 years, and we can't change the leader again. Nobody can come 2 years' time and say, we're ready now. Them I go say, why you never ready from them long time there? Crawford said as he explained his 5-year outlook, right? So here we have that from that time, Damion Crawford was challenging the leadership of Mark Golding, right? So I am wondering if this is a plot, if the plot that surrounds Mark Golding in terms of his dual citizenship, if this is a plot to really unseat him and to replace him with Damion Crawford being the president and leader of the People's National Party? This is just a question. I'm not sure if it is something that is happening, but it's something that we need to think about, right? In an article also that was published on August 1, 2023 in the Jamaica Observer, let me share my screen and show you the title and the contents, some of the contents of that article. And that article is entitled, Crawford Still Wants to be Prime Minister, Explains Relative Silence on the Golding-led PNP, right? So he really wants to be Prime Minister. Opposition Senator Damion Crawford has never shied away from stating his ambition of one day leading the People's National Party, the PNP, and the Jamaica as Prime Minister. Despite his relative silence, the last couple of years since taking a hiatus from representational politics, the desire remains. So he really wants to be Prime Minister. And I think that he perhaps was giving Mark Golding at least 5 years, as he suggested in the article that was published by The Gleaner. I would love to have the opportunity to be Prime Minister. I have always wanted that opportunity, that I am the chief decision maker of where we go. Crawford told Observer Online in an exclusive interview earlier this week. If I get the opportunity to decide for education or health or housing or wherever, I will be able to do more. The role of the Prime Minister, I believe, if I had the opportunity, I would make some serious changes, he added. Okay, one of the things, or one of the worst things I think can happen, is to be perceived as a liar. If I don't have the influence over the direction of the party, I can't be the main speaker or voice of the party, because I don't have the influence to guarantee that the things that I am proposing will be done, Crawford said. And this was a nutshell what he was saying on the fix. He's saying that he has solutions to fixing Jamaica's problems, but he's not being given the opportunity. He was saying on the fix also that, once he was on the program with Dion Jackson Miller, and he was making some, or giving some solutions, in terms of solving some of Jamaica's intractable problems. And, Dion Jackson Miller behaved as if she didn't understand what he was saying, because the manner of his communication, the way in which he was communicating his ideas. On the other hand, I think that Dr. Nigel Clark was on a similar program, and Dr. Nigel Clark, according to Damion Crawford, said similar, or shared similar sentiments to what he had shared with John Jackson Miller, but because he was using a hyperlooping language, and his language was, deemed to be more sophisticated and, more standard English, according to what Damion Crawford was suggesting, Dion Jackson Miller behaved as if those ideas were more properly articulated than the manner in which Damion Crawford, articulated them, or the solutions that he articulated. Something that was very interesting. But one of the things that we have to understand is that our politics is controlled. And people ask me, they say to me, Andrew, why are you talking about treasonous acts? Because that is what politics is all about, right? Politics and treason go hand in glove, right? There's no other way of explaining it. And if it's not only in Jamaica, it's in the United States, it's in Great Britain. Just read about politics in general. And if you read what happens behind the scenes, you will see a lot of treasonous behavior, a lot of treasonous acts, right? Acts of betrayal, right? It's not about, politics is a dirty game, right? Politics is a dirty game, and it's ungrateful. And you'd be surprised that the politicians don't even trust each other, right? So why should we trust them implicitly? Why should we put all our trust and confidence in these people, right? You've got to really be critical thinkers and to dig deeply, have a deep dive into what is happening on the political landscape in Jamaica. Right? But I thought it was interesting to share, this perspective with you. It might not be the perspective, but it's something that you perhaps can begin to observe, right? To see if very shortly, because it seems to me if the pressure continues, that Mark Golding might have to resign. Now, something I heard from Andre Stevens rather today was that his citizenship, which I don't understand, is going to end this year. So, the British citizenship that he has is the last, he's not going to renew that citizenship. It seems like he has to renew it, every so often. So it seems like this year is the last of that time where he has to he has to sort of get back, restore his citizenship. But it seems that he says he's on record of saying, according to what Andre Stephen says, that he's on record of saying that he will not restore, right, his British citizenship this year when it expires, right? Something that very weird. I'm not sure if you can, have citizenship for so many years and then you have to restore it. I don't understand what goes on where that is concerned, because I know that he is a citizen, a British citizen, based on his father's heritage, his father's legacy. So that is something that is some of the things I'd like to say to you today. Is nothing much today in my video, but I would like to pose that question. Is Damion Crawford going to replace, as it were, Mark Gordon as the leader of the opposition and the president of the People's National Party? Please leave your comments below and let me hear what you think. If that might be what is happening, if that might be what this entire plot, what this entire intrigue is all about. Thank you so much for joining. Please be sure to like and to share and to subscribe, right? Please like the videos, right? You can't have 1.8 views and you just have 47 likes. Like up the videos. Give me some 500 likes. Let the videos be liked so that it can be shared on the platform, because the platform is really run by algorithm, right? Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. All the best. Bye.